Surprise, surprise, out of the gates with Howie Roseman doing it again. Just a couple hours ago, he swung a trade for Bears pass rusher Robert Quinn. In exchange, the Eagles sent Chicago a fourth-round pick in the upcoming draft. Quinn has just one sack this season, but the three-time Pro Bowler racked up 18.5 last season. Hey, good to see you. Welcome into Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet, along with my guy, Barrett Brooks. I'm Danny Pommells. Barrett, the Eagles get back on the practice field, and they immediately have a new teammate in the fold. Howie just never stops.
I mean, Howie doing Howie things. He brought in production from the pass rushing position. I can't believe it. How does Howie do this? I mean, he seeks blood. Once he hears blood in the water, he goes and attacks a fourth rounder for a guy with double-digit sacks, 18.5 sacks last year. He did it again.
All right, check out the reaction from Bears linebacker Roquan Smith, and then how Jalen Hurts reacted at the podium a short time ago.
Yeah, man. Sucks. Yeah. I'm going to take a second for a second, if you don't mind. No, I have a great deal of respect for that guy, you know. Damn. Crazy.
I think it's another great player on this team. He has a history of being a great defensive end and edge rusher, and I think he'll help us out in a number of ways. You know, adds a lot of depth, and I'm excited to meet him. I'm excited to meet him tomorrow when he comes.
Two very different reactions there. That brings us to Barrett's three-point stance presented by your Mercedes. And Barrett, your first stance, the Robert Quinn trade is a Super Bowl move.
It absolutely is a Super Bowl move. I talked earlier about us going out and looking at film in the bye week and really paying attention to how we can generate more pressure on the quarterback. Individuals making sure they're doing everything they can do to generate pressure on the quarterback. Well, this guy, he had 18.5 sacks last year. That's production. You know, they acquired him for a fourth-round pick. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And a first-round pick when he did come out in the draft, three-time Pro Bowler. He has 102 career sacks. Although he only has one sack this season, I'll tell you what. I was watching tape on him, and he looked very unenthused being in that Chicago locker room. Talking about guys that need to change the scenery, he's one of those guys, Robert Quinn is. Because I tell you what, James Bradbury, we thought his career was all but over with. You know, the production he had with the Giants. But all of a sudden he turned around, He comes here, now he's playing at a Pro Bowl level again. I think you'll get the same from Robert Quinn. You'll get that double-digit sack guy. Even though he has one sack this year, I think being around these guys, being around a championship type of atmosphere, this is where he turns the page and becomes that double-digit sack guy we were looking for this team. It's absolutely imperative that they get more pressure on these quarterbacks, and Robert Quinn will do that. And here, he won't have to go every single play. You know, it's not like he has to play in first and second down. Maybe they make him just a third down pass rush situational type of player. I can see him doing that. We saw, if you give him you give him more rest, you get more production. And that's exactly what you'll get with Robert Quinn. I mean, look at it. These guys, you know, go out there. He goes out there and he's not tired going into the second, third, maybe the fourth quarter. I mean, think about the production he can get then.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at, you know, how they're going to play this defense, it's just an embarrassment of riches. You got Hassan Reddick coming off one side, and on the other side, you got Quinn coming off the corner. Pick your poison as an offensive coordinator. Who do you stop? Who do you send the chipper to? You know, and then up front, you got Fletcher Cox coming, Hargraves coming, and they're going to collapse the pocket. There's very few quarterbacks right now that can get away from either one of those two guys. And when they have this NASCAR type of defense in, when you come in and put BG in there also, so imagine that. You've got Hassan Reddick on one side, Quinn on one side. Put BG in there, and then Fletcher Cox in there. That's a whole lot of pressure that can be generated on quarterbacks. You won't need to blitz then. So with less reps, you give him time to rest. Yeah. Now he can go out there and get that production. This is exactly what this team needed to take this defense to another level, hence bringing this team to another level.
Hey, mixing in Josh Sweat in there as well. Pretty remarkable for this Eagles team. Now let's get to your second stance. Jalen Hurts will pick up right where he left off before the bye week. We just heard from him a little bit at his podium press conference, but he's fully locked in your eyes.
No question. I mean, I tell you what, there's no guy that watched more tape than he did. I mean, I can almost guarantee you, he's watched that film twice. But even more importantly, he watched the pad plays that he had like 3 or 4 times to see how he can get better at it, from the previous 6 games at being a better quarterback. He looks at the film, understands what defense is trying to do to him. That's what he's done. His self-evaluation is a lot harder than anybody else. Now look at it, his completion percentage, 66.8%. That's 10th. I can almost guarantee you, especially these weeks coming up, that he, gets way better at that. He's the type of player that you don't have to worry about him getting better. He's going to get better. And I think his passer rating from this point on goes up probably in the 100s. Probably around 102, 101, because he's always going to be the consummate pro and get better every single opportunity that he can. So Jalen Hurts, he watched a lot of film, probably overloaded on film, saw the things that he did wrong. He's going to correct those, and then the things he did better, he's going to get even better at those. So, yeah, I can see Jalen Hurts being a lot better quarterback going to this, better than he did before.
We saw Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin heaping a lot of praise on him, and as they come into town here to take on the Eagles on Sunday. Now, your final stance, that right side of the offensive line will be interesting. Lane Johnson's health is the number-1 concern out of the bye week. The Birds' right tackle is still in concussion protocol and did not practice today, but the Enquirer's Jeff McClain tweeting out that Lane said to him that he would be ready to go on Sunday.
Well, that was a key for me. That was most important for me, that Lane Johnson is playing in this game coming up. And I'm going to tell you the truth, honestly. There's no way that Lane wasn't going to play, regardless of what protocol or anything else. You would have to hide his helmet in one side of the field, and then lock his pads up in another.
Look at these
in order
stats.
to keep him from playing.
My goodness.
Well, look at that. We're talking about games that he's won. Games that the Eagles have won, 72 for 45 and only 1 tie. Come on, man. When he's out on the field, they win. Without Lane, they're 12 and 21. So, I love the odds you get with a Lane Johnson that's healthy.
That is absurd.
It is absurd. Look at him. Just a country dude that wants to go out there and choke people. That's why I love Lane Johnson. He's going to give it all, but there's no way you're going to keep him from playing in the game come this week. I can almost guarantee you that he's going to be on that field, ready to rock and roll, playing at that Pro Bowl level. And, oh, by the way, he doesn't give any sacks either. You know what I'm saying? He has yet to give up a sack in a year and a half?
Yes.
This is my guy. Lane Johnson will be playing. He will be here, guaranteed. Write him down, take a picture, whatever you want to do. Lane will be in that starting lineup.
He did miss some time in that sack, not recording a sack time, but when he's on the field, he is a difference maker.